English Grammar in Years. Raymond Murphy.
Unit 92. Relative clauses 1. Clauses with who, that, which. A. Study this example situation. Last week we had a party, and a lot of people came. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody who came to the party enjoyed it. Who came to the party is relative clause. A clause is a part of a sentence. A relative clause tells us which person or thing, or what kind of person or thing the speaker means. The woman who lives next door to me. Who lives next door to me tells us which woman. People who complain all the time. Who complain all the time tells us what kind of people. We use who in a relative clause for people, not things.
The woman who lives next door to me is a doctor.
I don't like people who complain all the time.
An architect is someone who designs buildings.
What was the name of the person who called?
Do you know anyone who wants to buy a car?
We also use that for people, but not which.
The woman that lives next door to me is a doctor.
Sometimes you must use who, not that, for people. See Unit 95. B. When we are talking about things, we use that or which, not who, in a relative clause.
I don't like stories that have unhappy endings. Or, I don't like stories which have unhappy endings.
Grace works for a company that makes furniture. Or, Grace works for a company which makes furniture.
The machine that broke down is working again now. Or, the machine which broke down is working again now.
In these examples, that is more usual than which. But sometimes you must use which. See Unit 95. C. In relative clauses, we use who, that, which. Not he, she, they, it. Compare.
I met a Canadian woman at the party. She is an English teacher. 2 sentences. I met a Canadian woman who is an English teacher. 1 sentence.
I can't find the keys. They were on the table. Where are the keys that were on the table?
D. What equals the thing that, or the things that. Compare what and that.
What happened was my fault. Equals the thing that happened. But. Everything that happened was my fault.
The machine that broke down is now working again.
Relative clauses 2 to 5. Units 93 to 96. Exercises 92.1 What do these words mean? Choose from the box, and write sentences with who. Steals from a shop. Designs buildings. Doesn't tell the truth. Is not brave. Buys something from a shop. Pays rent to live somewhere. Breaks into a house to steal things. Expects the worst to happen.
An architect. An architect is someone who designs buildings. A customer. A customer is someone who buys something from a shop. A burglar. A burglar is someone who breaks into a house to steal things. A coward. A coward is someone who is not brave. A tenant. A tenant is someone who pays rent to live somewhere. A shoplifter. A shoplifter is someone who steals from a shop. A liar. A liar is someone who doesn't tell the truth. A pessimist. A pessimist is someone who expects the worst to happen.
(92.2) Make one sentence from two. Use who, that, which.
A girl was injured in the accident. She is now in hospital. The girl who was injured in the accident is now in hospital.
A waiter served us. He was impolite and impatient. The waiter who served us was impolite and impatient.
A building was destroyed in the fire. It has now been rebuilt. The building that was destroyed in the fire has now been rebuilt.
Some people were arrested. They have now been released. The people who were arrested have now been released.
A bus goes to the airport. It runs every half hour. The bus that goes to the airport runs every half hour.
(92.3) Complete the sentences. Choose from the box, and use who, that, which. Happened in the past. Runs away from home. Cannot be explained. Developed the theory of relativity. Makes furniture. Can support life. Has stayed there. Were hanging on the wall.
Helen works for a company that makes furniture.
The movie is about a girl who runs away from home. The movie is about a girl that runs away from home.
What happened to the pictures that were hanging on the wall? What happened to the pictures which were hanging on the wall?
A mystery is something that cannot be explained. A mystery is something which cannot be explained.
I've heard it's a good hotel, but I don't know anyone who has stayed there. I've heard it's a good hotel, but I don't know anyone that has stayed there.
History is the study of things that happened in the past. History is the study of things which happened in the past.
Albert Einstein was the scientist who developed the theory of relativity. Albert Einstein was the scientist that developed the theory of relativity.
It seems that Earth is the only planet that can support life. It seems that Earth is the only planet which can support life.
(92.4) Are these sentences right or wrong? Correct them where necessary. I don't like stories that have unhappy endings.
What was the name of the person who phoned?
Where's the nearest shop that sells bread? Where's the nearest shop which sells bread?
Dan said some things about me that were not true. Dan said some things about me which were not true.
The driver who caused the accident was fined £500. The driver that caused the accident was fined £500.
Do you know the person that took these pictures? Do you know the person who took these pictures?
We live in a world that is changing all the time. We live in a world which is changing all the time.
Gary apologized for what he said.
What was the name of the horse that won the race? What was the name of the horse which won the race?